Well, we finally made it to the end of the road. Once I get kicked out of Sean's house, I leave his house and I'm not really sure where to go. I'm not going back to Judy's house. Fuck that. I'd rather sleep on the streets. And my mom had just moved into a new apartment that was pretty close by. It was maybe like 1 mile down the road. So I just drove down there and I went to her house and I decided, well, I guess I'm going to move in here for a little bit. And I did stay there for a little bit. And these were pretty much our last days together until she passed away. I moved into my mom's house and it's pretty much just me there. My sister's around. She doesn't really stay there though. So it's pretty much just me staying there and I'm sleeping on the couch. But the couch is like a pull-out bed so you can pull it out and have a bed. My cousin Brandon would come over and stay with us every once in a while because now that I'm gone, like they're pretty much just getting all the bullshit over there by themselves. So at some point Brandon is like leaving and coming back and leaving and coming back and he's always over at my mom's house. We were just always fucking with my mom, pranking my mom. I would just be saying shit to my mom all the time like, Mom, why don't you go get a job with the IHOP and just fucked up shit like that. But it was what it was. We were having a good time. I remember this one time, my cousin and I were like, hey, we should go to the sex store and buy some weird shit for my mom. Not like dildos or anything, but just like, we don't know what we were gonna buy, just something weird. But we go in this sex shop and we're looking around like, what are we gonna get? And we find this like bachelorette party section where all this weird shit is at for like bachelorette parties. And we picked out this like banner that had like 10 little individual things of dick and balls. They were like cartoon dick and balls. We were like, oh, that's hilarious. Let's get one of those. And on the way out, we got like this vibrating dick lighter and we leave. And then we go back to my mom's house while she's at like a doctor's appointment or wherever she's at. And we go in and put it up all over her room. And then she comes home and she's like, what the fuck is this shit? Why did you put all this all over my room? Whatever. And while she was also gone, we had changed some of her Bible verses on the computer. She had some Bible verses that would say like John 3:16, for God so loved the world or whatever it was. And we would change one word to just say penis. So we would just put like, for God so loved the penis. And then we would just leave it like that. So we changed all the Bible verses to have one penis in there. And then she goes to sleep. And at this point, I couldn't figure out how to get the dick lighter to vibrate. I was like, hey mom, look at this dick lighter. It vibrates. And she's lighting it. She's like, I don't know, it's not vibrating. I was like, what the fuck? So at like 3 a.m, I figured out how to make it work. And I like wake her up. I'm like, Mom, wake up. Look, I got it to vibrate. She's like, Mario, leave me alone. I'm trying to sleep. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Look at this lighter. I was pretty much a demon. And then I went to sleep. And then she wakes up and I hear my cousin trying to wake me up because I'm still asleep. He's like, Mario, wake up. He's in the recliner. So we're pretty much just completely blocking her in. And then I wake up and then I see my mom like doing this thing across the room because the computer's like right across the room and she does like the glasses thing. Like, am I seeing this right? So she pulls her glasses down and she's like, I swear to God, my computer just said penis. And then we just bust up laughing. I'm like, oh my God, that's hilarious. And then, yeah, she obviously sees that. But then at some point we like take the dick banner down because it's not even funny anymore. And then we go around town and put the dick banners up on drive-through menus and then watch, like we go park across the street or somewhere in the parking lot and wait for the manager or somebody to come out and see it and take it down. It was fucking hilarious. But the time at my mom's would come to an end because, like I said, I was literally blocking her in her room every single morning and she was just kind of annoying to be around. She still thought she could boss me around and tell me what to do. Oh, you're living in my house, whatever. I'm like, yeah, but you didn't raise me right now. I'm fucked up and, you have one leg, so I'm out of here, bro. Fuck this. So I'm graduated. I can leave. So I just got in my car and left. And I drove right down the street to my friend Ricky's house, the Gower family. And they had helped me out quite a bit before. They always let me and my sister come over to their house and swim in their pool and stuff because they knew kind of our situation. And it's kind of weird, actually. Ricky, the dad, he was an EMT for years. And he happened to be one of the EMTs that was there the day my dad killed himself, which I didn't actually know about until like 2 weeks ago from filming this right now, which is kind of crazy. So they had apparently like offered to even say like, hey man, if those kids need somewhere to go at some point, they can always come over here. We're not worried about it. And then my aunt, they were like, nah, we want to keep them in the family, which is fun to look back because my Aunt Shelby was always telling my Aunt Judy to put us in the state custody. So it's funny to know that the Ricky and their family were down to take us in, but nobody ever really took us over there. But I just showed up one day and I was like, hey, I have nowhere to go. Can I stay here? And they were like, yeah, you can stay here. We have no problem with that. We have an extra room up here, an extra bed, whatever. You can sleep here. So I moved into Ricky's house. And that year, I remember they actually helped me make Thanksgiving for my mom that year. Like, my friend Ricky would he woke up early in the morning and was like making my mom's Thanksgiving before I even got up. And I went down there. He was like, yeah, you need to do this and do this and do this, whatever. And then they helped me take it all over to my mom's house, and I spent Thanksgiving there with my mom. And then she moved out of that place and moved into a new house before Christmas came around. And then for Christmas, I remember it was Black Friday, and I went to Walmart and I stood in line at like 5 in the morning for like cheap portable DVD players, because she really wanted a portable DVD player because she didn't have one in her room. She had one in the living room, but when she was in bed, couldn't get up out of her wheelchair. She wanted to watch movies in her bed. I got her the shower head because she couldn't stand up in the shower, and the landlord at the time didn't give a fuck that she was in a wheelchair, so she couldn't really take a shower. So she had this weird seat in there, but when the shower head's way up there and you're seated on the floor, it's just not really a great shower. So I got her the shower head that she could take off and then, wash herself like that. I really didn't understand, my mom and the one leg thing. Like, I understood, like, you have one leg and that's probably fucked up, but I didn't really truly understand it till I started working on all this, like how she was probably going through some shit, knowing that you had your whole life behind you and now you have one leg and you have to finish off your life old and handicapped and you got one leg. And this is back when prosthetics were like still kind of new and you couldn't really get the good shit. It was just like some basically shit you can get at Goodwill, like just pop on your leg and maybe you can walk if you're lucky. So she didn't really love life too much. She was always telling me and my sister weird shit like, Carmen, Mario, all I ever want in my life is to see all my kids in one place and that will make me happy and I'll die happy or whatever. And I was just like, whatever. She's always just saying random shit like that. Like, I'm not always going to be here forever and all that stuff. So we just kind of pushed it to the side. We were like, whatever. But for whatever reason, all of us happened to be together that Christmas. Like, not everybody, my brother Andrew wasn't there, but everybody else was. Me, my sister, my older sister Mary, and like pretty much the whole family, we were just all there for Christmas. It was weird. And then sometime after Christmas, my mom and I got into this crazy argument, and I don't remember exactly what it was over, but I think I thought she was back on drugs or doing something, and I was texting her like, well, I'm gonna call Social Security and I'm gonna get your money taken away, and Karma's gonna get taken away, and you fucked up our whole lives, and screw you and this and that, and we were just fighting really bad. I was just not a happy person. That's just to say the least. I really wasn't just a happy person with her at that point. And then the very next time I saw her, I did not know would literally be the last time. I'm driving up to Walmart and I'm like in front of the store, but on the right side of the store, and I'm driving up to find a spot, and then I'm at the very front of the store and I'm about to turn left and go towards like the center of the store so I could go back down the next aisle and try to find a parking spot over there. And when I'm turning left, I see my mom sitting there like right next to the vending machines right in front of the store, I guess waiting for her ride to pick her up or whatever. And I can still see it so vividly in my head, like we're staring at each other. Like I make direct eye contact with her. I'm driving, I'm making a left, and I make eye contact with her, and as I'm driving by, we're just staring at each other, and I just shook my head at her. It was just like, damn, what a sad sight. That was pretty much the last time I ever saw her live. And then January 12th, what would have been like probably a few days after that, she was dead. I'm at a job interview at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I get a phone call on my cell phone, and it's my high school counselor, Mrs. Price, and she says, hey Mario, this is Mrs. Price at the high school, and I'm up here at the hospital with your younger sister, and I'm gonna need you to come up here. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. She said, well, your mom's in the hospital right now and she's really sick, and I think it would be a good idea for you to come up here. And I'm like, nah, my mom's always in the hospital. She's always sick and always going through something. Like, she'll be fine and I'll talk to her tomorrow, whatever. And she's like, nah, trust me, this is bad. You need to come up here now. And I'm like, oh shit. Because my high school counselor I've never talked to her. Like, she wouldn't normally call me outside of school. Like, she would talk to me in school, but she would never call me. So I'm like, okay, this is weird. So then I go up to the hospital, and there's Miss Price and my sister sitting there at the front lobby or whatever, the desk. My sister's already crying and lost it or whatever, and then we head back to the hospital room, and my mom is just sitting there basically a vegetable, like she was dead. Like, they were keeping her alive on life support until everybody that needed to be there or wanted to be there could get there, and then we're just kind of staring at her like, what the fuck, this is fucked up. Like, is she gonna die? Or like, and just the sight of it was fucked up. There's tubes everywhere and she's literally lifeless. Just like, I mean, it was just a fucked up sight. And then my older sister Mary shows up with, her people. And then we're all just kind of sitting there like, what are we going to do? And then the doctors comes in and they're like, yeah, all there is to do is pull the plug. And we're all here now. So like, somebody's going to have to do something, or we can just wait and see what happens. But nothing's going to happen because there's nothing going on. So at some point, my older sister says, well, I guess it's time to pull the plug. And she signed the paper or whatever. And then my mom died on the table right in front of us. The funeral for my mom was just really not a good time. I mean, I don't know how anybody would expect it to be a good time or think it would be a good time, but it was just as bad as you would think it would be. We're sitting there, my Uncle Calvin is doing the sermon or whatever, and then he's like, I love Sandy, she was a good person, and this and that, and yada yada. And then I start crying because I'm like looking at my mom, and she's in this casket, dead, and you just kind of, it's so weird if you've ever been to a funeral where you kind of just expect them to get up and just move or blink or something. You just or waiting for something to happen, but it's never gonna happen. They're just dead. And you're never gonna talk to them, they're never gonna say another word, and you're just looking at them dead. And I start losing it, and I just get up in the middle of the sermon. Fuck this, I just go over to the fucking casket, I'm crying next to the casket and shit. And then, the service ends, and then my Aunt Shelby's like, come on, Mario, they gotta get the body out of here. And, which I thought was fucked up. I'm like, motherfucker, this is the last time I'm gonna ever see my mom. Those moments where it's the last time, well, this is my moment, this is that time, so leave me the fuck alone. But she got me out of the way, and they closed the casket up, and they picked up the casket and put it in the back of the hearse. And then we drove over to the cemetery where they would bury her. Well, we are here at the Brown Chapel Cemetery where my parents are buried. I literally haven't been out here since the funeral for my mom, which was in 2009. I was coming out here one time, it was years ago, 2010 probably, and I was like, I'm gonna go visit my mom's grave, and I literally hit something and popped one of my tires, so my tire went flat. So I just said, whatever, I guess I'm not going out here, and I just went home. That was the last time I ever even tried to come out here. So it feels kind of weird to be out here. It's weird to know that my parents are buried in the dirt out here. It's creepy. Well, here is my parents in the ground. It says loving husband and father on this one, but it's weird. So how can you be a loving husband and father when you kill yourself and you leave your children with a crackhead? Yep, that's my mom's grave. Got a piano on it. She loved playing piano and shit. Loved playing music. That's probably where I got it from, but January 12th, 2009. Wow. That is crazy. No fresh flowers here. I guess that's my grandparents over there. They got the fresh flowers, it looks like. Looks like my other aunt that's still alive probably stopped out here. Well, what once was is now in the ground. So weird. The only thing I can even remember from the funeral is leaving the funeral and going to lunch. And then, I don't know, I guess we went back to our church and we were eating. I don't think we were at our church. We were at somebody else's church eating. And my aunt comes up to me, my Aunt Judy, and she's like, Mario, you haven't even touched your food. You need to eat. It's like, motherfucker, do you see how my day's been? My mom's dead. We just buried her 6 feet in the fucking dirt. My whole life is a shit show and I have no idea what the fuck I'm gonna do now. So maybe I'm not gonna fucking eat. Leave me alone, It's like, do you not have any sympathy for me at all, Judy? She has no sympathy, because it's crazy that she won, and it's bad to say, but she won. My mom's dead and now she's the victor, so she's almost excited. Not saying that literally, she probably really wasn't excited, but that's how I felt at the time. And at the time, actually, it's kind of fucked up to say. It was she was saying this to me, and she was like, hey, you need to eat, whatever. And I'm sitting there thinking about all this shit, and I'm almost relieved that at the same time that all this is over, because there's no more crackhead shit. There's no more, mom did this, mom did that, mom is embarrassing you, mom fucking is in jail, mom's on crack, mom is losing another leg. There's nothing. But it's also fucked up that, your mom's dead. You're not gonna have a parent anymore. They're not gonna see you grow up or live your life or get married or do anything. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, she is dead and I can't really do anything about it. So there's no bringing her back now. So I guess it's about, time to move on. It's January 2009. I'm 19 years old. My mom's dead and my dad's dead. I have no real family support and I just don't really know what the fuck I'm gonna do. And it's pretty easy probably from the outside to be like, oh, well, go get a job, go get a fucking career, go to college. You've got a high school diploma, go to college and do something with your life. But when you're a burden basically your whole life and it's psychological warfare for the first fucking 19, 18 years of your life, what do you even expect to do? How are you even supposed to get out of that? Because it's not as easy as just go get a job, because all this shit is still whirling around in your brain. All that shit that just happened is still in your body. It's not like whenever my mom died, all this stuff just went away and just disappeared. It was still there. Now I just have to figure out how to live with it and live my life at the same time. But it was really hard to live just any day because it's always like survival mode. I'm in fight or flight pretty much my whole 20s, you know, like I never really had a place to live at. I pretty much just lived on other people's couches or on their floors or literally in their closet until I got kicked out because I'm not really doing anything. And it wasn't like I wasn't doing anything. I was trying to do stuff, but like I was going through this severe depression that I was really just completely unaware of until I started honestly working on this. Because I wasn't really depressed when I started working on this anymore, but I find this old Pandora playlist that I listened to like all the time back in the day. And I'm going through all these songs and listening to all these bands, and I'm like, oh my God, dude, I was fucking depressed as hell back in the day. Because I wasn't really thinking about it when I was listening to those songs or those bands or anything. I was just trying to feel better. I'm like, music is all I have, so that's all I'm gonna do and listen to, and that'll help me feel better and pretty much save my life, if you will. So then I'm listening to all these songs and it's like nostalgia to a degree, but it's more just like, I can't believe how bad I felt, because then the second I'm listening to these songs, like all those bad feelings came over me like all over again, and I can remember how bad I felt all the time. I had such like a lack of motivation, like I didn't want to do anything. I didn't even know who I was. I didn't know what I was doing, you know? I was literally just like some kid out there trying to figure it out. And in my 20s, I just really never felt like I was able to grow up or mature or like be a real adult like everybody else. Like I was never able to relax in my whole childhood. It was always something going on, and we're moving and we're doing this and doing that. Now as an adult, it's like that much harder to just keep your feet on the ground and just like stay there. I felt behind like all my peers. I felt stupid. Like I really couldn't hold a conversation. I would stutter all the time, and then like nobody would ever take me seriously about anything, and I would just like, fuck. Really what I needed my whole life was just somebody to just be there. Somebody to be there for me. You know what I mean? To have my back, to love me and care for me, show me that they give a fuck about me. Because my whole life, it just felt like nobody ever gave a single fuck. I was just pretty much existing my whole 20s. When I started Purple Hearts, I was at a crossroads in life. I'm about to turn 26. I have no money. I have no hope. I pretty much have nothing going on of extreme importance. And I needed something to focus on. I needed something to have a goal towards. I needed to have something that was mine, something that nobody could take from me, because, you know, I lived pretty much out of a backpack for my whole 20s. I never really had anything. And when I lived in my aunt's, you know, she could just take it away at any point. And then when I lived with my mom, she would just sell it for drugs. So pretty much I never had anything my whole fucking life. And I just like sat there. I'm like, I need something that's mine, that nobody can fucking take. It's mine forever. And I'd always wanted to be in a band. And I'd played guitar for, at this point, probably 10 years. I started playing guitar when I was 15, and I was pretty good at it. I wasn't like the greatest guitar player in the world, but I could write a song. But I also knew that I wasn't really that good. I knew that my talents weren't like top tier. And I didn't want to go all in unless I knew that I was going to write songs that were fucking hits, like songs that people cared about, songs that mattered to people, songs that mattered to me. And I knew up until the point I started doing Purple Hearts that I wasn't able to do that. I had never been a singer my entire life. I had tried to sing probably like 2 or 3 times on different songs over the years, but I was like, I'm not good. I'm not gonna be a singer. Only a dream, I want to be with you, so I'm falling back asleep. I'm totally fine being in the background playing guitar. And so all the bands that I was in, I was just a guitar player, no problem. But then at this point, I'm like, okay, well, I want to write lyrics, and I have songs that I want to write, because I had like 2 or 3 songs that I had written that I wanted to put out, but I didn't want to sing it. I had lyrics, I had melodies, everything. I just didn't want to sing it. So I started contacting people, and I'm like, hey, will you sing my songs? Will you sing my songs? Here's my lyrics, here's my song. Will you sing the song? Whatever. Nobody was really interested. Like, fuck. Because who's really interested in that? Like, if you're the singer, you probably want to write the song. You don't want to sing somebody else's lyrics and shit, and it was just not going to work. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to do it. I was like, worst case, I'm out a little bit of money, and I don't have a song or anything. But best case, I'm able to start a band, and I'm able to do something as a solo artist. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to put these songs out that I already have by myself. So I contacted my who is now producer, Kevin. I said, hey, man, my name is Mario. I got this band I'm trying to start called Purple Hearts. I don't have any songs that I've recorded, but I have some demos that I have that I recorded on my iPad with GarageBand. So if you want to check those out, I can do that. I can even sing the song over an acoustic guitar so you can at least hear that I'm able to sing. And he was like, yeah, man, for sure. Let's book a date and figure it out. So a couple months later, I go into the studio and knock out what would end up being my very first single, Love and War. I remember the very first day of recording, because this is like the only time I had ever recorded my songs. Like, we had bands before, but most of them were other songs, or they weren't recorded that well, so it didn't even sound that good, so it wasn't like I was proud of it or wanted to show people. But when I went to the studio this time to record this song, and I left with the instrumental, I was fucking blown away. I'm like, holy shit, that's my song? I wrote that song, and I just turned that song into this big fucking hit? Like, that's insane. But I'm also scared because now the next day I have to go in is for the vocals. I have to sing on the song, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm gonna be any good. I hope I'm good. This is freaking nerve-wracking. And then my friend is taking me to the studio the next day, and he's driving me, and I'm like, listen, bro, let me play this instrumental, and I want to sing you the song while we go to the studio, and I want you to tell me if it sounds like shit. And I did it, and he's like, nah, sounds good, bro. It's gonna be cool. And then I go in, and even my producer didn't really know if I was gonna be any good or not. He had heard me do the acoustic thing. He was like, it'll probably be okay. We'll make it work, right? That's what he thought. So I go into the studio, and I do the first chorus, just let me go. And he was like, dude, holy shit. You already have like a melody and everything. You got this down, bro. And I'm like, okay. And then he played it back for me. Just the raw version of what I just did. And he played it back. I'm like, oh my God, I can do this. I can fucking do this. This is fucking what I'm made for, dude. I can actually do this. I'm actually going to be a singer. Just let me go. Just tell me what you want. It's all I ever wanted. It's all I ever needed. And if you try to fight it, guess I'll turn around to leave it. And that was like the first time in my whole fucking life, the whole 26 years I've been alive, like that moment was like the only moment I'd ever been proud of myself. Something that actually gave me a purpose, something that I could actually fucking believe in and be proud to show other people, like, dude, this is mine. I did this, It was crazy. And I knew that this was something that nobody could take from me. Like, this was mine. Purple Hearts is mine, and you can't fucking take it from me. And now the rest is kind of history, I've done so many songs since that point. I've done probably 50 or 100 songs, like so many different music videos. Purple Hearts really just opened the gates for like what my life would end up turning into. And when I first started all this shit, it's crazy because like I said, I was living out of a backpack. Like, I had no family. I had nothing. I had nothing. I had an iPhone. I didn't have a tripod. I didn't have shit. All I had was an iPhone and a guitar. And now every single thing I've ever learned since starting Purple Hearts has given me the opportunity to be able to do all this fucking shit. Like, I can film this. I can edit this. Like, all the background music is mine that I'm writing over this shit. Like, this is all me. Like, I've been able to accomplish so much shit just by starting Purple Hearts and doing something. So now I'm 36 years old at the time of recording this. I'm like 6 months out from my wedding. I'm living the nicest life I've ever lived. I'm making the most money I've ever made. I mean, I'm doing the coolest shit I've ever done. And truthfully, I could not be happier. Like, maybe I'm getting better now because working on all this, truthfully, has given me so much more peace. Like, I had a lot of anger problems and just a lot of jealousy and trust problems and so many different issues before I stopped to think about my whole life and just kind of assess what the damage was. And now that I've done this whole podcast and I've kind of made peace with everything, it just makes me feel that much better. But like, I just feel so blessed now to just look around at all my shit. It kind of sounds bad, but like sometimes I just like to look around at all my shit that I own, that I bought, that I earned, you know what I mean? That nobody can take from me. Like, this is mine. I fucking did this shit. And it's kind of bad because like, I think I've probably turned into a little bit of a materialistic person because like, I never had anything. Like, everything I had could be taken from me at any point. It was always a disposable thing. I couldn't just have anything for me. So now that I have money to just blow on myself, I just want to buy nice shit. I want to have nice shit. I want to have quality shit. I want to wear nice clothes. I want to feel nice. I want to look nice. Like, it's really crazy to think about. Like, I've met so many crazy people, worked with so many crazy people, been all over the country, literally worked for presidential candidates. Like, I got to bring a bunch of super cool people on my podcast that I did for a little bit of time and just got to talk to so many fucking dope people and learn so many different things that like, I'm just truthfully so blessed to be here right now. And at the time of recording this, I'm currently in the middle of writing my brand new album, and probably by the time this comes out, some of it will be out, so please go check it out. It really does coincide pretty hardcore with this podcast. I talk about my childhood quite a bit in the music. But if you made it this far into the podcast, thank you so much. Like, if you made it to this, what I'm saying right now, I really appreciate it, man. Like, working on this whole series has really changed my perspective on life and just my overall childhood and just things in general. And I hope it opened up your perspective a little bit too for maybe your own life or how you see other people. Childhood trauma is like so fucked up and it just never goes away. You know, it lives in so many different people that you would never expect it to live in. You know, they just walked around every single day with the weight of that on their shoulders, bearing them down every single fucking day. But it's not until, you know, they look in the mirror and say, hey, it's time to change. It's like time for me to fucking fix this shit. And with me personally, like that's where it stops. Like I am where the buck stops. Like me personally, I'm gonna break the cycle, you know. My kids are absolutely not gonna grow up with that type of shit, and I'm gonna give them more than I ever fucking had, because it's not up to the neighbors, it's not up to the government, it's not up to the schools, it's not up to my family. What's gonna happen to my kids is up to me. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really happy that you made it this far, and I appreciate you. And I guess that was it. That was my life. I did it. I'm done. Thank God. You weren't the crackhead? You didn't like crack?
I didn't like it.
You just like the drinking?
And
Is that the car you wrecked?
there was nothing but a snowstorm.
Well, you were drunk too.
Yeah, it didn't help.
I found all the times you guys got arrested in the newspaper.
Really.
I woke up one morning and my mom was hitting me with a wiffle ball bat.
Try to get you up going to school.
How long does that keep you high?
All night long. I was in prison because they hit an anhydrous tank. I was asleep in the car.
How much alcohol you got to have in your system to register a .282?
I drank all day long.
How do you think you did as a stepdad?
I did what I had to do.
Was there ever a time that you considered yourself an alcoholic?
No, I wouldn't even want to go there. Until you take accountability for your pain because it wasn't my fault.
When's the last time you did drugs?
Sunday.
Sunday?
He shoved me in the tub and I blacked her eye. We got married next day.
Do you remember the last night we saw each other at that house where you were drunk as fuck?
No, I wasn't drinking at that time.
You were drinking that night.
Every day.
You were drinking that night though. You were fucking hammered. You don't remember that?
I remember everything. I was smoking crack while she was gone. Till you grow up and be a man, you got a problem. Not my fault.